Hello there. You are onto the Man-to-Man Session podcast. We raise kings to embrace their masculinity and amplify their influence in the society. Welcome. The Man-to-Man Session podcast is about to begin.
Hello guys, welcome back from the break. Alright, so with me right now we have Mr. Duke Emmanuel. Welcome to M2M session, sir. So we'll go straight into it. How did you meet your wife and how did you know that she is the one that you want to spend the rest of your life with?
Hello everyone, Duke here, head of programs, news and production, Hit FM Calabar, and I am on this podcast. So how did I meet my wife? I met my wife a long time ago. Apparently, on the first day when she resumed at work, incidentally, we work at the same place, the same establishment. So I remember what we started out with the first privately owned radio station in the city. And when we started out, we have strategic meetings and all that. And I remember, we had a team and my boss said there's someone coming in. She was coming in from Abuja, I think, at the time. Can't completely remember, or if it was Benin or something. But she had done work with Rhythm FM in Benin. And then when she came in, she had this persona that just lit up the room. And I was like, okay, so this the person we've been waiting for. And then she introduced herself and we had a chat. Of course, I was very laid back at the time because, we're just having a conversation and getting to know each other. And then she was, very conversational with every other person around. And I remember when they all went down, because this was in the conference room, I walked in, the studio, and she was struggling with a new console. And I said, this is new. It's completely new and different from what you know how to use and what you're conversant with. So let me show you how to, go around this. And I did help her around, with that. Then stepped out for a beat. And I remember that she was looking for where to have lunch. No, she hadn't resumed work yet. It was her first day. She was supposed to resume the next day. But for some reason, she just stayed through. And we had this way of doing things. We'd all go to lunch at the same place. And then we went to lunch at the same place and, had a conversation, talking about broadcasting among everyone. And then I think one thing that hit me was when it got to the point of payment, because normally the guys would always, just bring out money and pay, and the ladies would just stay laid back. She wanted to contribute with the guys, and I was like, hey, no, don't worry about this. I got this. Took a while. She finally let us, go about it. I was like, okay, this is a G, nice. So that's basically it. The second question, how did I know if she was going to be the one to spend the rest of my life with? I did not know, right? I didn't know until many years after, So I hear people say the minute I saw them, I knew that this was what it's going to be. I think it's different strokes for different folks, and it works differently. In my own case, I was not, I didn't know because, first off, I didn't have plans to even get married at the time. This is 2016, right? We got married in 2020. This is 2016. There was no plan, but what was still, chilling and having fun. So yes, I did not know until many years later. We got close, friendship grew. We met, worked on the campaign trail together, and then started dating. Silently. I can't even date back to, when we started dating officially, because, again, it was so organic that everything just fell into place and the dots kept connecting. I'm always big on talking about how dots connect. You do stuff and you just ignore and then go on to do something else and you abandon this one. But then somewhere down the line in your life, you realize that the dots are connecting and they're linked to each other. So in my case, I think that's basically it. The dots just connected, and I can't remember specifically, the exact date that we started saying, hey, we're going to make this thing official and get dating. Of course, I know when I said I was going to get married, but I can't remember when we started dating and all that. So yeah, how did I know that she was going to be the one to spend the rest of my life with? As we became best of friends, I saw all her qualities. I saw that she was amazing. I saw that she was kind. I saw that she was open to learning stuff, very hardworking. I saw that she would take corrections. I saw that she just wanted to become the better version of herself every time. I saw that she didn't have time for bad mouthing people. I saw she had a clean heart. There's so many similarities, and we just blended. And when it was time for me to get married, again, it was interesting for me because I think I just woke up one day and said, this is what it is. I'm going to get married. And I think that some things that we say to ourselves when we're young, are actually work for us one way or the other. So I said to myself at a particular age, I was definitely going to get married. And for some reason, it just worked because the universe listens. The universe is listening, and it's going to work in your favor. I hear people say when you say positive things, the universe listens, and when you say negative things, the universe doesn't listen. I don't think that's the case. I think that the universe generally listens, and these things just manifest at the right time. So when I felt like it was time for me to get married, I remember, calling my best friend, say, hey, G, what's up? I'm more time don't reach you. He was like, what? I said, I want to, tighten up. And he was like, are you okay? And I'm like, hell yes. And, that's how we just started. I got a ring, never really got to pop it. When I finally did, went on another break, interestingly. And then we just found ourselves working out, the marriage thing and all. So, yeah, that's that for that.
Very interesting. It was organic and the dots started connecting. Second question, sir. There are young men out there who believe that men are polygamous in nature. Hence, the reason why some people cheat on their spouses. What do you have to say about this?
I think that it's a very mental thing. And every time I have conversations with people around this, I say it's a mental thing, right? So it starts with what's in your mind and what's in your head. If you regard someone so much, you'd find out that it'll be difficult for you to see someone else in their position. And if you're very, very proud of yourself, you have a lot of, self-confidence and pride or whatever. In this case, I don't think that pride is bad. You'd see that it feel like you're, stepping low, right? In this case. However, another thing that I want to say as regards to this is that it's a very relative thing. And when I say this, people think I'm being controversial, but I think that cheating is relative. For some people, the minute you say hello to a girl, my husband is cheating. For some people, the minute you hug a woman or something, I think it just depends on what you consider cheating. However, another relationship with someone else, the minute, for me, how I define cheating is if you share something that you share with your wife, with only your wife, with someone else, then that's cheating, And I don't think that young men should believe that they can cheat because they think that men are polygamous in nature. So even the religions and cultures that support polygamy, that support a man being involved with more than one woman, they also have a process, So they say you can be with more than one woman. It means that you can marry several women, right? So if you see another woman that you want to do something with, go through the same process and get married to her. Not a one-night thing or a chop clean mouth thing or a waka kurukere waka thing. Go through the same process, because when it comes to that case, you see that there's very few people that actually take the bull by the horn to say, I'm a polygamous man. My culture supports it. I think my culture does, but I don't know if my religion does. Obviously, my religion doesn't, and my spirituality doesn't. But then, you can say as an African man, you have room or license to get married to more than one. Then go and marry them. Go and see their parents and stop keeping them as side chicks. I don't know if that connects, But overall, I'd say whatever you share with your partner, that special one, it should be with that special one and not with other. You can't have other special ones. It should be that one special one.
If you want many women, stop keeping them as side chicks and get married to them. Otherwise, whatever you share with your special someone should only be shared with her. Because for me, I don't believe I'm polygamous in nature. Alright, thank you so much for that, sir. Over to the next question. In the last couple of months, we've heard of cases of domestic violence. And of course, they are the ones that we've not even heard of. Now, do you think a man's inability to control his temper is the only cause for this? And how can a man prevent himself from laying his hands on his wife?
So first of all, I don't think that you destroy something that you care about, And I usually say this: if you love your wife, if you care about your wife, if she's precious to you, you will not want to see, dents on it. No one intentionally picks a sharp object and goes to scratch their special, precious car. No one intentionally walks into their living room and breaks their TV because they love it. So why do you break the mouth of the person that you love? Why do you beat them up? How do you stand it? I think that people that do this need help. I think that it's very abnormal. Contrary to popular belief, it's a very abnormal thing for a man to lay his hands on a woman, let alone his wife. That is the woman you sleep in the same bed with. You're going to kiss that mouth. You're going to make love to her. And you beat her up like that? Come on. There are different ways to control your temper. And, interestingly, in my case, I heard people say, you will have problems in your marriage. Marriage is this. The two of you will have problems. When you have problems, you pray to God. You do like this. You do like that. Of course, I'm a religious person. I'm very spiritual as well. So I think that the God factor is key and king. But then the man factor is key too. So, hey, if you're upset and you think that what they've done is not wise or reasonable, walk away. So I've had occasions. First of all, let this be on record that when I got married, it took about, I think it was in the 8th or 9th month that we had our first disagreement. And I was looking forward to it because, when you go for marriage counseling and they tell you, you will have issues, you will have problems. Toothbrush, where you keep your toothbrush, where you keep your toothpaste. If you squeeze them out of the toothpaste, where you keep your soap, where you keep... Nah, I make bold to say that. We had a lot of challenges, but disagreement that would have quarrels, that never happened. First time it ever happened was in our 8th or 9th month, and it wasn't too serious. So I made up something, right? In my house, we don't stay mad at each other past 24 hours. The sun doesn't set on our anger. We look for a way to settle it, right? And I think that that's key. But hey, you're angry, you want to control your temper, step out. That's all I can say. Count 1 to 10, walk away from the place, and just, get out. There are different ways to control your anger. And I think that we have a whole lot to do. We have a role to play in all this. We need to help our people, right? When I say our people, I mean younger ones, younger versions of us. I'm talking your brother, I'm talking your son, your nephew, or whatever. They need to start learning anger management. You cannot, it's not an excuse to lay your hands on a woman because you are angry. It doesn't make any sense. It is cowardly. It's condemnable. It is crap. Thank you.
There you go, guys. The man factor is what? Key. The man factor is key. And it is cowardly and condemnable to lay your hands on lady because you are angry. Very wrong. Alright, sir. Next question. Why do you think some men experience difficulty in finding love and getting married early?
There are two different things, finding love and getting married early. Love is there. I don't know when people say finding love, like, you make it look like love is a hidden thing, like say love they hide. And then when you listen to some love songs, some very unreasonable love songs, and, you have your own definition of love, your definition of love is unexplainable because it's not reachable. It's, God. Yeah. So growing up, I realized that a lot of people, or us, myself inclusive, we didn't really know what love was, right? Our definition of love is based on the things that we saw, based on the movies, based on the novels, the books, based on the poems, based on what we thought, the songs that we listened to, what we thought was love. But you see, love is different though. Love is an inside job. Love is a big deal. So the minute you say that you love someone, you're saying that you love them and every version of them. I don't know if you understand. Love is maturity. And people love different things. Some people love their jobs. Some people love their phones. Some people love social media. Some people love their pets. Some people love, it's there. People love different things, but in this case, I think you're talking about loving someone. I think that if you love yourself, it'll be easy to love someone. I met young men say, I cannot love toxic masculinity. They don't want to be vulnerable. Because when you love, you're vulnerable. Even in the Holy Book, the man that died for us, he loved us. He was vulnerable. At some point, he said, Lord, if you can take this cross away from me. The vulnerability is there. So why do men experience difficulty finding love? It's hard for me to say. I think that men are brought up in a way that they don't. Some men are brought up in a way that they don't let themselves go. They hold themselves back. They're not vulnerable, as the case may be. So these things happen. It's difficult for them to, find love. It's difficult for them to see themselves with this person for the rest of their life. And it's a mental thing. It's a difficult question to answer. I don't know why that is what it is. But I think that there should also not be a timeline to marriage, right? I don't think there should be a timeline to marriage because marriage is serious stuff. Marriage is a whole different level. It's not difficult. It's sweet. It's enjoyable, but it's serious stuff. And the worst thing that can happen to anyone is incompatibility. So you guys just get into it because you think that you're compatible and you realize that your poles apart. Every day when you wake up, it's going to be a struggle. But you see, for me, my house is like my sanctuary. So I just can't wait to go home, to just rest and enjoy. And most of my creativity comes when I'm in the house. That's why I can't stay mad at my partner for more than 24 hours because how do you guys walk past each other, putting your heads up, keeping heavy faces? I think that stuff is solvable. And I think that no matter what it is, it can be solved if the two parties are willing to solve it. you know. So yeah, there shouldn't be a timeline for people to get married. Men, let yourself go. You'll be vulnerable to love and find love and be loved. Thank you.
Wow. There shouldn't be a timeline to get married. Guys, love is there. Love is there. So stop holding yourself and be vulnerable. Be vulnerable. Thank you very much, sir. Over to the last question for this session. So, personally, I've met young men who believe that marriage will tie them down. They also believe that marriage is a cage. And they also believe that they don't need to get married to start a family. They can get several girls pregnant who will give them children. So please, what do you have to say about this?
Of course, you can get several girls pregnant. They will give you children. That's a different ball game. Of course, you don't need to get married to start a family. But no, marriage is not a cage. And no, marriage will not tie you down. Let me tell you something. When we got married, my wife and I, first off, the early days, I remember us stepping out and she just felt this confidence, to wear whatever it is that she wanted to wear. And then she wore something short and asked me, do you like it? And I was like, oh, I like it. I love it. And we went out for an event. Then there was this woman who, she just looked at her and said to her, that thing that you're wearing is too short. Something along the lines of, this is why young women don't find husbands. And she was like, sorry, it's my husband that bought it for me, and he likes it when I wear it. And she just kept quiet. My point is, marriage shouldn't tie anyone down. There's some things that I feel confident doing now, never did when I was single. For example, for the past 3 months, I haven't combed my hair because my wife likes the roughness. And I realized that I like it too. Years ago, it's something that I would look as irresponsible, but now I don't really care. My dress code has even changed. Like, I don't think it should tie you down. I think it should help you let loose. I've seen people that have gotten better at their craft, after they got married. I mean, Adekunle Gold, for instance, his music used to be necktie. But ever since Adekunle Gold got married, he used to be that fresh choir boy that would keep a clean cut, afro, but he'll cut it and comb the hair. That man is on dreads now. And we like him on dreads now. He's popping like one of the biggest artists out of Africa right now. So I don't think the marriage ties anyone down, except you're the one that wants to be tied down. So please, get that out of your head, right? Don't think about it. Get it out of your head. Marriage doesn't tie anyone down. Marriage doesn't tie you down. That's it. And no, there's no cage. You will not be in a cage. You will not be in a cage. You will not be in a cage if you just feel free to get married. I think I've answered all the questions. Thank you so much, guys. And that's it. It's fun being on this podcast.
Marriage will not tie you down. You've heard it, guys. Marriage will not tie you down, except you are the one that wants to be tied down. Thank you very much, Mr. Duke. Thank you so much. So guys, go back and listen to this podcast again. Go back and listen to this episode again. Go back and listen to every episode again. Trust me, this is wisdom's response to the cure of masculinity. If I was probably supposed to give this series another title, it would have been called Wisdom's Response to the Cure of Masculinity. You should go back and listen to this episode again. When I started planning this particular series, At first, I wanted it to be a relationship series, but I told myself, no, the goal will not just be to educate men on relationship. Let's also help them tackle other issues that can help build them. Because most persons spend time and they prepare for the relationship. A lot of guys, they spend time finding Mrs. Right, but they don't spend time becoming Mr. Right. So this series is to help you not just prepare on how you can find Mrs. Right, but to help you to become Mr. Right. So even before you are probably ready to get married, you need a download of this wisdom's response to the cure of masculinity, titled How I Met My Wife. Okay, guys, so this is where we are going to bring today's podcast episode to a close. We have another episode to go. Don't miss it. Go back. If you have missed any episode, trust me, you are missing a whole lot. Go back and listen to them. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of M2M session. Till I come your way again, I remain myself, AI. Cheers.